everybody, and welcome back to another new video on the channel. Today we're talking about episode 77 for Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And am I the only one that, only just now noticed that there's 77 episodes for Boruto? That's kind of, fuck. The Boruto anime has been going on for over a year, and there's 77 episodes. I don't know, I guess I just didn't really pay attention. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But, regardless... I actually have been thinking about it recently, and the Boruto anime actually just recently got their English dub released. They've been doing that for like a few weeks now, I think so. And every single time on Saturday when I'm just watching TV and not really doing anything, I do see like on Toonami they're about to air like the newest like English dub for the Boruto anime. I'm like, oh, should I watch it? But I haven't watched like any of the dub yet, so I'm actually curious to see their performances in the dub. And I might actually review the first episode of the English dub, because last time I heard the dub voice for Boruto, I wasn't that huge of a fan, and it sounds like it's still the same voice actor or actress. I'm not actually entirely sure if it's a male or female doing the voice for Boruto in the dub, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're talking about episode 77 of Boruto, and it pretty much continues where we left off last week. Where we left off last week. And of course, as we all know, the time changes for the Boruto episodes are Sunday, so it's not going to be like in the middle of the week as it used to be. And I had to kind of improvise for that recently with the Jump Force video, but it continues where we left off last week. Garaga, we're still trying to get his reverse scale, and of course he's being like a humongous asshole because he's like, no, I don't want you to get my fucking reverse scale. But it's actually kind of weird because in the episode, they finally found out, or he finally found out why they were going after him in the first place. And, obviously Boruto explains to Garaga that he's trying to get the reverse scale so that way he can take it to the White Snake Sage. So that way she can then tell him, like, the thoughts that are inside of, like, the little white snake that Mitsuki left behind for Boruto to find. And show him, like, the moments of what happened it was basically to prove like Mitsuki's innocence that he didn't betray the village. Because skip ahead towards like almost the end of the episode, basically the end of the episode, they end up succeeding in what they were trying to do in a way, but we'll get to that. And the White Snake Sage actually transforms back into her snake form because she was in her humanoid, I guess you can say, form. Like she was a small, like little lady, and then now it turned back into like the giant, like White Snake Sage that we saw in like flashback back in Shippuden with Kabuto. Because as we all know, back in Shippuden when he was explaining how he found Ryuchi Cave and learned Sage Mode, it showed like a flashback in the image of the snake creature, the White Snake Sage, that taught him Sage Mode. And it was a gigantic White Snake Sage. That's what it was. And then when we saw how it looked like in the Boruto anime, people weren't really a fan. Well, they either heard fan backlash or this is what they were planning to do with the White Snake Sage to begin with. We ended up getting, the whole like ordeal showing that, the White Snake Sage can, go from snake form to human form at will, and she does like show him like the thoughts or like the flashbacks. It's basically just flashbacks of the moments of what happened when Mitsuki, attacked the gatekeepers when he just before left the village. And basically it proved his innocence because he attacked the gatekeepers, but then he stopped the two gatekeepers' hearts for like a few like minutes or seconds or so, just that way he can fool the people that he's with, saying that, they kind of tricked him in the sense that he killed them, but he didn't really kill them because he like sent down the little snake thing that he has with him, and he stopped their hearts, and then obviously they started back up, obviously because he can just do that, I guess. But the episode ends with pretty much the innocence of Mitsuki showing that he didn't betray the village, but there was still wondering why he went with these guys in the first place. And we actually do get like a scene with them, but they don't really say all too much besides, we get information that they are heading towards the land of Earth. And so that's where we're heading next, it looks like. And then when we look at the previews for next week's episode, which should be interesting because I don't think there was ever really a case where in both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden where we actually went to the land of Earth. I think there's like one scene like during like the Five Kage Summit arc where we see the Tsuchikage for the first time. Yeah, the Tsuchikage for the first time, and it shows at the Stone Village, but it doesn't really show like the Land of Earth or anything. So it's gonna be like the first time we actually go there. And it's gonna be pretty interesting. But the episode is mainly action. It's mainly action. The whole beginning part is basically just. It's literally right after where we started off. It's literally right after where we ended off in last week's episode. Is what I meant to say. But then Garaga, he finds out that they're going after his reverse scale. He kind of retreats back, but then it's said that he actually didn't retreat back. It's his feeding ground, so basically he has home advantage and stuff. And so later on, the episode continues on a little bit, and there's actually some stuff that happens in the Hidden Leap, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, after like a couple scenes, after like and during like the Hidden Leaf, we go back into like the feeding grounds with Gattaca and Boruto and the others, and he basically can camouflage himself. But because it's home advantage and he's used to being around this kind of area in Ryuchi Cave, he can basically camouflage himself into the walls, and then he's using that to his advantage that he can actually get like sneak attacks on them, and he does that a couple of times, but basically it's him just kind of staying back, and he's using his other senses to actually be able to sense whether or not they're close or not, so he can actually attack them because he can sense their body heat. But then Shigadai actually points out the fact that he can sense their body heat, but he can't sense the body heat off of the Super Beast scroll, and they use that to their advantage, but it doesn't almost seem like it does anything. But of course, I guess it helped in some sort of way because Boruto is using his shadow clones. And then they do like this whole scene where Boruto, he throws a Rasengan and like stuns him. Boruto's about to get the reverse scale off of Gattaca, and then they do a flashback with Gattaca, and it shows his backstory. It actually shows his eye, which is like literally just white, and it looks kind of creepy. If you ever seen like a blind animal, like an alligator or a snake, it looks like really weird, and it does the same thing for Gattaca when he opens his eye. But then we see a flashback with him, and he was in a contract with somebody, and it shows that he was in a battle. He was trying to protect this fortress. It went on for a little while, and as Gattaca was about to go and attack them because he wasn't gonna, stop. He wanted to protect the place that he was protecting. He was actually portrayed by the summoner that summoned him and used him in battle, and his eyes literally show betrayal, and the whole flashback actually just ends with him waking up because he fell unconscious, and then he woke up, and now he's permanently blind in one eye. He can only see out of one eye. And then they do like this whole thing like with the tailed beast back in Shippuden, or even just in Naruto in general, where they're kind of like in the conscious of like the summoning animal or like the creature. So Boruto's just kind of like standing there in like a puddle of water, and they do like the little ripple thing, and then Gattaka's right behind him. Gattaca and Boruto are kind of arguing with each other a little bit, and it pretty much just ends with Boruto saying that he's not going to go after his reverse skill anymore. He's actually going to now decide to go into contract with him. So now Boruto has a new summoning creature. He can now use the summoning jutsu and summon a creature, and it's Gattaca. And some people, I saw this on Twitter actually a few times, some people actually were thinking that Gattaca was actually going to be Sarada's summoning creature, because people are comparing characters like, oh, Sarada is like her dad, so she's gonna like end up summoning like snakes like how Sasuke does, and etc. No, I mean, in a way I was kind of like thinking the same thing, because I was like, oh, they're gonna have Boruto like learn Sage Mode through the Toad Sages, and he's gonna like summon like Toad and stuff. And like that's gonna be cool because maybe we can see Gamakichi again, because we haven't seen him in like fucking forever, and I really want to see him because he's awesome. But no, Boruto ends up getting into a contract with Gattaca, and that's what actually was able to convince the White Snake Sage to show him the events that partook before Mitsuki left the village and proved his innocence, etc., etc. And it's kind of weird because like the whole reason why Gattaca decided to get into a contract with him was because obviously Gattaca, when he was first portrayed, he was younger and dumb, and that's what he literally said in character. And He was kind of just like, oh, I think it'd be hilarious to see you get betrayed by your friend Mitsuki. And then Boruto's like, oh, I'll get my friend back, yada yada. And if that doesn't happen, then you can kill me, you can eat me, da 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 da, right? And that's basically it. Then he kind of just gets into a contract with them. But rewind a little bit, we go back to the whole like stuff in the Hidden Leaf Village. We go back to the whole Yurito, like he was like a secret agent for like these guys, whatever, right? He actually is about to kill the guard keeper for some reason. Probably not to give any intel because they can obviously get intel if they do that. Turns out it was Moegi. She was in a transformation jutsu, and she basically stopped him from doing what he was about to do. Sakura walks back in. They confront him. He escapes somehow. Somehow, in some sort of fucking way, this asshole is able to run out and escape from, like, Sakura. Like, at least Sakura. Like, I know Sakura is, like, a meme, and people call her, like, useless and fucking dumb and etc. But, like, Sakura is actually useful most of the time because she's a medical ninja. But even then, if you see her fight against Shin Uchiha, it's kind of surprising that this asshole who's like probably barely tuning level, if anything, got away from fucking Sakura. Like, whatever, right? So we go back to Udon and his team with Iwabe, Denki, and Metal Lee, and they're on patrol, right? They're still wondering what the fuck is Boruto doing as he's out in the village, whatever, right? Yurito is like giving off some bullshit saying like, oh yeah, the medical department got attacked, yada yada, you should go help them. He's about to walk away. Udon stops his asshole saying like, oh, you're supposed to be the one to fucking protect the medical department, so if it's attacked, why are you fucking running off? Like, what the fuck are you doing? So they get into a little bit of a scuffle. No one really gets hurt, really all that much, to be honest. And then Udon figures out that Yurito is actually under Genjutsu. He was actually under a sort of Genjutsu mind control, and that's the reason why he was doing the bullshit he was doing. A little like fucking centipede looking fucking thing gets on his back as well. It kind of looks like clay, like with Datara, but I don't know if that's exactly the thing. The reason why I say that is because it ends up fucking blowing up and kills Yurito and causes a whole fucking huge explosion, right? I assume it killed Yurito because it was literally on his back and it exploded. No one decided to help him, by the way. I'm gonna point this out. No one decided to like take the fucking thing off his back and then help him. No, they just all ran away. I thought that was funny. I thought that was really fucking funny for some reason because it's like, why? He didn't even try to help him out. So we go back to like the main like group of bad guys who took Mitsuki. They explain like, oh, they laid the trap. It was Genjutsu, and then like obviously they are pretty surprised that the Genjutsu got released. But then like there's like a girl out of the three of them. She's like, oh, they were able to do that. They're not fucking idiots then. And it's like, yeah, they're the Leaf Village. Fucking no, I'm kidding. The main like guy, I guess, kind of just goes off on his own, and then Mitsuki goes with the guy that set off the detonation, and he doesn't even say anything. Like, Mitsuki's in the episode for literally like a minute, and he doesn't fucking say anything. So what was the point of putting him into previews and stuff if he wasn't gonna do anything? What the hell? Anyways, that's kind of it. That's kind of like how the episode kind of just proceeds to do. It was fun. I actually really enjoyed watching the episode, and it did a lot of stuff that surprised me. I wasn't expecting Garaga to get into a contract with Boruto. I wasn't expecting Boruto to get like a summoning animal like at this point of the series. It really surprised me, and I'm glad they kind of explained like some sort of way, like Yurito, him being like a traitor and stuff like that. Turns out he was under Genjutsu, like whatever. We still didn't even get to see like anything with like the main like bad guys. Like, they don't really like do anything. They kind of just explain like a little bit of stuff, but they don't really do anything. They kind of just like stand around and they're like, yeah, Genjutsu, you fucking nah. It's just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. The episode was fun. I enjoyed it. I kind of wish there was a little bit more. It kind of leaves me wanting more. It kind of leaves me wondering, what the fuck was the point of Mitsuki being in the episode? But whatever. With that being said, I think I'm gonna head and wrap up the video. The episode was good. The animation, most of the time, I would say was actually pretty good. Um, the action for what it's worth was actually kind of entertaining, and there was a little bit of good like character moments. There was actually a couple of scenes that did kind of get like a little chuckle out of me. It was pretty entertaining nonetheless. So regardless, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you are new, subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.